Episode 36. Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Cheers, welcome. Grab a drink, come on in. Sounds good. Yeah. Final time. There we go. Let me hear. What? Wait, what? No! Where is it? Where's my vinyl? There we go. I can't function without vinyl. What's up, everybody? Eventually, it'll be all vinyl, one unit. Wow. Welcome. It's Monday. You are here live at evening hour. My name is Cardone, and this is episode 36. Whoa. I can't believe I've done 36 of evening hour and all these other shows. It's crazy. Well, I got a crowd in here. I got a new camera. I got lights. And I got some fun stuff to show you tonight. Wow. Come on in. Grab drinks. Tonight, I'm on vintage seltzer water. And I see you guys are already chatting about lava lamps. I got Amanda, Libra, Liz, William, Jason, and there we go. Voider Shark, what's up? You're in here. Who else is in here? Let me see here. Yay, Mark, Elizabeth, Jason. Yeah. Awesome. Come on in. Keep coming, people. I'm going to lower the tunes. How is my hand cam incense burner? Oh, wow. Look at that tonight. That is looking glorious. Extra smoky. Good Lord. Fallon, what's up? I think, Fallon, you like Monday too, right? I love Monday. People think I'm crazy when I tell them Monday's my favorite day of the week. It's because I get a bunch done. I'm starting the week, and it's in motion. I love it. Can't believe people don't like Monday. If people don't like Monday, they're doing something wrong. I'm going to correct myself. I like every day. I'm that guy. I don't really judge. Yeah. Thank you, Libra Liz. That means a lot. Good. I mean, I'm just here having fun with you. Everybody here. Yes, some people are really isolated. Man, last spring, there were people that were so isolated that it was shocking. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, people are really isolated, and for me to just have fun with you all and come up with some subjects that we all find interesting, it's my pleasure. Thank you. And every single donation goes right in the show. Right here. Bada bing, bada boom. Yes. Thank you, Mark. My new camera is because of y'all. I have a really nice camera, and I'm still learning how to use it. It's not easy. How is it sounding? How's it looking? If it drops off tonight, I'm going to jump over. Well, first, if this ever dies because of internet problems or whatever, give it a few minutes. And then I'll log on again and restart it. If that doesn't work, then we go to Instagram Live. And if you're not following me on Instagram, it's Cardone Magic. CARDONE MAGIC, one word. And I do a lot on that show, on Instagram. I use it a little bit like a supplement to YouTube. I gotta be honest, I wish YouTube had a bulletin board on every channel. YouTube, please. Put something where I can make posts throughout the week. Links, posts, some sort of wall. That would be so sweet if there was a little section. I do like YouTube Red. I'm a fan. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. The focus. Here, look. I've been messing with it. Let me see if it works better now. So it should get blurry and then all of a sudden clear. Look at that. Within a second. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Now, I know you're excited to get to this episode. It's a fun one. It's on lava lamps. Tonight's episode is called Lava Lamp Underworld, and I mean it. You're going to love this episode. I found some really neat little facts. But I wanted to start because Monday, this morning, I got up and I started my philosophy study. Yesterday, I bought this. Now, if anybody here is interested in philosophy, I can't believe I didn't buy this a while ago. God, the incense in here is going nuts. Let's see what it looks like. Wow. I'm going to blow on it. Watch this. Wee. So I bought this recently, yesterday, right here. Dictionary of Philosophy. It's a really thick little, I paid $5 for it. It has the definitions of all the different philosophies and philosophers. So when you're reading, you can peruse through. And I've already used it. This morning I was using it. I did find one thing I find very interesting. Oh, hell, where are my glasses? Here they are. Tell me if this isn't a little weird. Now, I'm going to be honest. Okay. Now, take it or leave it. Some people love the philosopher Ayn Rand, and others despise it. And there are those that, you know... Ayn Rand, for me, is one of those philosophers where there's pieces of it that I agree with, and there's parts I don't necessarily agree with. I think Ayn Rand's philosophy failed in some ways because she wasn't very likable when she spoke. That's my opinion. I mean, I think if she was more of a personable person, it would have sold it in a different way. And I've never read her fiction, so I can't comment on that. But I have read many essays that she wrote. And I thought this was funny. So I was just perusing through and I looked up Ayn Rand. Now tell me if this isn't a little weird. It says, this is a dictionary. Ayn Rand. 1905 to 1982, an American writer of Russian origin. Her so-called philosophy of objectivism condemns altruism and extols selfishness and individual achievement. Her so-called philosophy. Interesting. That's an interesting choice of words for this. So-called. It's like they're. It could be worded. It said. You could say like some don't think of her philosophy as a real sound philosophy. I mean, it just sounds really meh. I was like, I thought this was a dictionary. Yeah, I'm curious if I'm going to find anything else in here like that. Probably not, because she's very contemporary. Her stuff, yeah, take it or leave it. It is still a philosophy. It might have a hole in it, and they should put the hole in here. They should mention it, I guess. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I do like this book because of what it is. So this morning, reading Seneca, my favorite so far, I found two really cool ones. One of the essays or letters, they're letters, on the faults of the spirit. The faults of the spirit. So, first of all, if you're reading Greek philosophy or Roman philosophy or any of these things, you should look up the definitions of some words because they're not what we think. Yeah, Fallon, so-called. Yeah, it's a weird choice of words, I thought. Again, even if you disagree with Ayn Rand's philosophy, I just think it's a really weird way to write it in a dictionary. It's like, whoa. So here's the definition. This isn't a Marcus Aurelius book. It's a glossary of terms because the meanings are different. So spirit, daimon, like demon. Also divine spirit. This is the origin of the English word demon, which is very interesting. But here it does not yet have a purely negative association. The Greeks, a daimon is a lower class deity. So it's like a lesser angel of sorts. And they could enter or possess a person. So hence the word modern way of looking at it. Okay. It says the most famous daimon of Greek philosophy is that of Socrates. In the Apology that he wrote, Socrates says that his demon is a sort of inner guide which tells him only when he is not doing what he ought to. So it's your inner voice, it's your conscience. So for them, spirit is like your inner voice in your mind. And it doesn't mean spirit in the concept of the Christian spirit. Okay, it's a different word. So he's talking, Seneca here, he's talking about the faults of this, and he brings up some interesting points. He's talking about the diseases of the soul. Again, he's not talking about the soul like your ghost. He's talking about your psyche. They didn't know what the psyche was back then. They had ideas and stuff. So, and he says, and this is great, the worse one is, the less one perceives it. Wow. We already knew this. I mean, this is, why will no man confess his faults? Because he is still in their grasp. Only he who is awake can recount his dream. Similarly, confession of sin is a proof of sound mind. I just thought that was interesting that he's literally going into that. You know, this is many years ago. He goes into... this is great. So, he goes into then, on the next essay, or letter. They're letters. They're not essays. They're letters. He's writing to his friend. It's called On Asthma and Death. And I thought this was cool. It describes asthma, the shortness of breath. Its attack is of very brief duration, like that of a quall at sea. It usually ends within an hour. So he's talking about asthma and how he has these asthma attacks, and he's like, wow, one day I'm going to die. Like, I'll have an attack and I'll never be able to stop it. I'll just suffocate. He's thinking about this. Like, and then he gets to the end of the letter where he says, basically, the wise man can never be thrust out of this life, because that would mean removal from a place which he was unwilling to leave. And I'll end it on that one. Think about that. Whew. If you're willing to leave, you're like, all right, I'm ready. It's all good. So, memento mori. And always remember, that's looming around. It ain't going anywhere. And we need things to keep us focused. Seneca always says, too, like, you can't passively be into philosophy. You kind of have to do it all the way, or it means nothing. And I am a fan of reading the original sources, because you get the context in which the guy learned the story, maybe. Or the thing in nature that made his psyche realize this moment. When you read the quotes out of context, like in one of these daily Stoic things, you're missing a lot of the nuance. It's been watered down, and I don't want that. I want to read the real source. So I recommend anybody that reads these websites, go to the source. Go find the real stuff. This book is $6, $7, $8 on Amazon new. Seneca's Letters from a Stoic. And look, it's a thick book. It's easy to read. It's wonderful. All right. Cheers. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe bell or button and hit the notify bell. I always mix them up. I'm not looking for donations. If you want to donate, it's great. Please do. It goes right into the show. It's going into all production. If you don't want to donate, that's cool too. Just tell your friends about the show. Like the channel and pass the info on. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's very hard. I'm almost at 666. When I get to that, I'm going to do a special episode. Actually, let's see what we're at now. We are at 646. So 20 more. And I'm going to run a contest for everybody that's in the chat, and I'm going to be giving away some awesome prizes. Packages. Let's get to the episode. I do not want to dilly-dally. Where is my notes? I wrote a lot of notes for tonight, and I had a blast doing research here. For those of you wondering where I got the notion for doing an episode on lava lamps, first I'm going to say it. I've never owned a lava lamp my whole life. Always wanted one. Loved it when I went to people's houses that had them. And was always disappointed when I went to people's houses and we turned them on and they didn't work, which happened quite a bit. So I never really got around to owning one. I think when I was a kid, they were, I don't know, $20? The new ones are only $30. So it didn't go up that much. So I thought, I want a lava lamp. I was hanging out with Sharky. Shark's in here, Voider Shark. And I was like, I want to get a lava lamp and I want to get a big one. I want to get the biggest one you can get. So I hit the Google, and there it is. 27 inches of pure joy. So just as I'm getting ready to order it, I always look at the reviews, and I've gotten really good at looking at those reviews and reading between the lines, figuring out which reviews are fake, which product is knockoff. I don't know if you realize this, but anything you order on Amazon, this is what happens. Let's say I'm trying to order this. It's like a kitchen lighter for making creme brulee, right? It's a fancy kitchen lighter. It's a torch. I use it for lighting incense and candles. I love it. So let's say that this brand here, Torch 400, has been around for a while, and they sell it on Amazon. So there are people that take this, they'll order one, take it, immediately send it to China to get the copy guys. They have dudes that can take this and reverse engineer it and send you a copy. And then they go, cool, improve a little bit on this, and I'm going to lower the price a little bit and put it on eBay, and it'll be on Amazon. So when you look at a real product, all the other baloney versions are there too, and you have to kind of figure it out. So I see there's not that many 27-inch lava lamps. So then I start looking at the reviews, and it has nothing but bad reviews. So I'm like, well, forget that. I'm not even going to look anymore. Bad. So I started, I'll just get a regular one. I knew they had a really little one. They had a bigger one. They had different sizes. And I figured, yeah, I'll just get the regular one. I don't need that one. So then I picked the color I like, and I look at the reviews, and it's got a bunch of bad reviews. I mean, a lot. Like half. Okay? And they're saying things like, it came broken, it doesn't work, it's too slow. Okay, so then finally, I'm like, oh my God, where's the original lava lamp? Let's get that. Where's the original? I want to find the real one, not a knockoff. It's got to be the one. So I figure out which one it is. And I go on Amazon, I go, this is the real one from the real company. They own the patent. I then I look at the reviews, and that has bad reviews. Lots! Half the reviews. So, again, broken, doesn't work, too slow. So as I'm digging in the reviews, I find the people that I can trust. You clearly can tell they are lava lamp nerds. You can just tell. They write these long, epic things. They clearly want you to know what they have to say. And they're not being paid to do it. And I found a guy that's like, look, if you want a lava lamp and you're going to order it here, get ready. Because out of 10 lava lamps, 7 that he had ordered, something was wrong. Get ready to ship it back. Save the carton. He's like, I'm not telling you not to order it. Just be forewarned. A lot of them show up busted, or there's something wrong, or they don't work well. And I knew that. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to order one and bite the bullet. And I ordered it on Thursday, and I got it Saturday morning. And I'm here to tell you if mine worked or not. So I don't have a drum roll button, but it's right here. First, I'll show you the box. Well, here, I'll just show it to you. Ready? And, ooh. And there it is. There it is. It's beautiful, right? Oh, by the way, I'll have more soda. So, yeah, it works. It works great. It is a fantastic lava lamp, and it's one of the best things I've ever bought. I can't believe I didn't buy one when I was younger. I'm shocked. Now, let's talk about it. There's a lot to talk about with this. What does it do? There's this little cap thing, right? It has all these weird parts. I'm going to tell you about it, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun tonight. This is kind of fascinating. So, this is it. Let's look at this thing. Now, here's the box it came in. This is a 16.3. The company is... Schilling is the company, and lava lamp, it's the real deal. Thank you. Okay, here's the color. It's like a pinkish color with orange-ish blobs. It's hard to see. You can't see it in the video. It looks terrible. I mean, it looks okay, but my God, up here, it looks unbelievable. And this is the real company in the U.S. We'll get into the world market, because there's some fascinating stuff. But this is it. They don't have a lot of colors. I wanted the one that was like blue and white, and that one was one of the knockoffy ones. And so this is it. Mine works, thank goodness. I did not want to send it back. But if it didn't work, I still would have done the show. So here are the parts. You have this little cuppy cup. It's just it's a cup. You have the base. You have the cord, right? And then this globe, this glass comes, it's too hot to grab now, I think. Yeah, look, you can lift it off. It's like a bottle, and literally, it is a bottle. It's got a bottle cap. It's sealed, and a cap. And inside, there is a powerful light bulb. And what's the wattage of this one? Well, it says that the color is purple and yellow. That does not look purple and yellow. It looks purple and... Oh, it's hard to tell in the video. I don't know what watt bulb it is. What? I should know this. Oh, here. Here are the directions. Let's see. So, one important thing. It has a little band around it, and I wish I saved it. Basically saying to be patient. It will take a while. Oh, there's my mama. Fran, when you were around in the 60s, do you remember these? Do you remember, Mama, if they were popular around your circle? So the band, the little paper band says when you plug it in and turn it on, it's going to take 2 to 3 hours to activate. That's right, 2 to 3 hours. It also says only to run it for 10 hours. I'm going to try to push this and see. I'm going to give it a 24-hour cycle and see. I would love to own a bunch of them and just leave them on all the time and see what happens. So get this. One of the reviews for the 27-incher says that it takes about 6 to 7 hours for it to work. That means it's only good for 3. If you're only supposed to turn it on for 10 hours, and it says that in the big one, and it takes 7 hours to work, you only have a few hours of use? Wow. No, crazy. Now that I have this, I kind of want to get the big one. I don't know. I have to think about it. I would love to. It's really big. It is like this. It's massive. So let's get into the nitty gritty here. Super nitty gritty. So the guy that invented this, his name was Craven Walker. And he's from the Dorset area in UK. Oh, so Fran, you remember this. And he was born July 4th in the UK in 1918. And he was a WW2 pilot. And he flew airplanes. Yeah, Fallon, that would be nice if it said made in the USA. The problem is 90% of the product would go away. Right? Terrible. So this he was a pilot in World War II. He wasn't in a gun, an airplane with armaments like missiles and guns. He was in I don't know what you call it, a plane that takes pictures, a surveillance plane. I'm guessing it's called. Goblinko, what's up, Goblinko? Stick around. I'll give you I'll give you a shout out in a second on your book. Because I was looking at your book again the other day, and it's rad. Yeah, he was in a surveillance airplane, right? And about, I think, 20 years before this came out is where he got the idea. He was in a bar, and in the bar, this was like 60, 50, this was in the 40s. He saw behind the counter this weird bottle with some leather straps, and William, I'm gonna read your comment in a second. And he was like, "What the heck is that thing behind the?" Or should I say, "What the heck is that?" And the bartender was like, "Oh, it's an egg timer." And this guy Craven Walker was like, "What?" And he explained it. He's like, "Yeah, it's like some sort of liquid with a wax." And when you make eggs, you boil the egg, and then you heat up this thing, and when the gloopy gloop goes to the top, your eggs are ready. It's literally an egg timer. So Craven Walker is like, "I'd like to buy that. Can I buy it?" And they were like, "Yeah, we don't use it. Buy it." So he bought it right there, brought it home, and he... Oh, Goblinko, Sean, is it Sean or Katie in here? Whoever it is, wait till you hear what I have to say at the end of this episode. You're going to freak out because I found a holy grail for lava lamps. That's, woo! Okay, so he has the egg timer, and then years later, he ends up buying the patent off the woman. Her husband had died, the guy that invented the thing, and he bought the plans and the patent. And then he started working on it. And he knew it wasn't going to be an item that... He didn't want it to be anything useful. He said it. He wanted it to be a luxury item. Just pure... that. I mean, guys, if you've never owned one, you really can sit and stare at them for hours. I'll explain why I think it's so... Oh, what's up, Sean? So... I honestly, when I was reading this, I was like, wow, okay, it has a really organic story. The guy was in a bar, he sees this item, he buys it, and I gotta tell you about a little bit more about this guy. He was not into drug culture, because a lot of people would think he would be. He wasn't. He was not into that. But he was a nudist. And not only was he a nudist, he started nudist camps. And not only did he start nudist camps, he produced nudist films. I found this. There's a poster to one of his films. Folks, this guy's really interesting. Yeah, he was married 4 times. He had a very colorful life. He started these nudist camps. He was in the war. And he invented... what we now call a lava lamp. Now, when he first put it on the market in 1963, I have my notes, it wasn't called a lava lamp. It was called an astro lamp. And he said it was about an 8-9 year development process to get it to what it is. And when he finally had one like this, I think the original one was more cylindrical. I have to look. He went and showed it to somebody, and they didn't like it. He plugged it in, and it took too long to get started, and they were like, get it out of here. It takes too long. So then the second person he showed it to ordered 3 dozen. The second company was like, I like this. Give me 3 dozen. And there it was. So it was a slow grind. It wasn't a fast thing. It took a little while for it to like really pick up. And I saw a thing where he said he knew he had hit it big when Ringo Starr, he ordered one. So I thought that was cute. He was like, oh my God, Ringo wants one? Wow. It's been featured in Doctor Who episodes and in The Prisoner, which I still haven't seen that show. I'm embarrassed to say I hear it's one of the best shows ever produced. Rick Sherman, who's constantly telling me to watch it, I will watch it this year. At least I'll watch a few episodes. I'll get into it. So then after this thing picked up and people were like, this is rad, this dude named Adolf Ruthenheimer and Ty Spector bought the rights for the U.S. market. Craven Walker owned the rights for the world. And these two guys bought it for the U.S., and I think it did pretty well right away. It was definitely one of those items that, I mean, just look at it. I've named this one Wylat. That's Wiley. Wiley. I'm going to call him Wiley. Wiley because it stands for Wylat, which stands for Would You Look at That? Because you look at it and you just say, well, would you look at that? And then you just look at it. I mean, you guys are looking at it now, and so am I. Just looking at it. So, the thing that I think is cool, and we'll talk about how it works in a little bit, but the guy that invented it thought it was a little bit of a Freudian thing that made it so beautiful. When you plug them in, and I was trying to figure out how to do this so that we could have it happen live. I'm going to turn it off for a second. I was experimenting today. If you turn it off, within a few minutes, this is good lighting right now. You can kind of see them going down. They'll start to get cool and sink. And I'm going to talk about the components in a second. And then when it's completely cool, when you turn it on, what happens is there's a blob of wax at the bottom. There's also something secret on the bottom most people don't know about, and I'll tell you in a second. So there's this blob of wax. The light bulb heats it up. The wax expands. Now, does anybody know what the liquid is inside? It's basically water. The stuff expands. 1.62 density, I think, is the paraffin wax. Now, I do believe this wax is something very special. It's not a normal special. It's not a normal wax. It's paraffin, but it's not. There's a secret to it. So, when it first gets warm, what happens is this long phallic thing, it looks very phallic, it goes up, and it just stops. And it stays like that for a long time. What it is it's the hot stuff just pulling itself out, and then eventually the rest of it starts to go. But the first thing it does is grow this like proboscis, or what do you call it? It's like a trunk of sorts. It goes straight up. And how these work is, in the water, you've got paraffin wax at the bottom. And inside the bottom, and I'm going to try to lift this up. Oh, Jesus, this is hot. You can't see it, but underneath here in the ring, hot. Whew, there's a metal spring that, like, if this is the bottom, there's a little spring that goes around the edge, a coil. And what happens is the heat from the lamp, oh, look, see, it's gone down. Here, I'm going to turn it on. The heat heats up that coil, which actually, because it's a metal, it sucks up the heat a lot faster. It's, what do you call it, a conductor or whatever. It pulls the heat into the coil, which heats the wax up a lot more. The other thing that coil does is when the blobs, so these blobs rise up because they're hot. When they get up here and swirl, they're actually almost the same density as the water. Very similar. That's why it floats like in a looming manner. So it goes up and it cools down, and then it'll go back down, right? When it hits the bottom, those coils actually help put it back into one blob to shoot it back up. Look, it's going to... Okay, so the one at the top, as you can see, is starting to cool off. Watch, he'll fall. And... bloop! There he goes, and he'll hit the other one. See, they don't congeal when they hit. They don't go together. That ball just hit the big one. It didn't absorb into it. It stayed separate because of the water. When it hits the bottom, those coils will make it go back in. It's kind of a genius little device. And I looked up here. There's a community of lava lamp people, and they take out the liquid, they change the colors, they change the wax, they have a whole thing where they share ideas. People make them out of wine bottles and regular bulbs. So Sean, you might be able to make one. You're a maker. I know you know how to make things, clearly. You guys might be able to throw one together. I'm going to try to do it eventually. I really want to make one with a really nice wine bottle. The wax, the paint inside is special. That's the thing people can't figure out. And the other thing is, a guy that did a homemade one, he figured out that tetrachloroethylene, which is a super toxic substance, gives it that density, the wax. It's also used in dry cleaning, that chemical. It's really bad for the environment and the people around it. It's used in brake fluid. It's called Perk. Comes in a can. So the guy I saw messing around online, like, he was adding salt to the water to make it dense, and then he was balancing it out with his tetrachloroethylene in the wax to get it to do its thing. So I'll bet, they have a new chemical that we don't know about. I'm curious. The water is pretty much water. There's probably some coloring in the water. The wire is a little smaller than the diameter of the glass. They said that in this one thing. Like, that's definitely why it works. It's not bigger, or it's not the size of the bottle. It's a little smaller. It gives it a little edge so the wax can get around it a bit. Yeah. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So I looked up the lava lamps to get this. What I didn't see anywhere in my research were the original ones, the original company. I eventually found it. I didn't put a link. So in the donation description, I put a link to how they make them, and you'll actually get to see what they do. Look this up. Mathmos. 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 That's the name of the real company that still makes lava lamps. They're in England. They're called Mathmos. Mathmos. And let me tell you what. Go to their website and feast your eyes on their lava lamps. You're going to be like, oh my God, these are beautiful. Not only are they beautiful, they definitely work well. And they have ones that are candle powered. They're like lanterns. Now, here's the rub. You can't order them in the U.S. And the company doesn't ship to the U.S. either. They're trying to figure out a way to do it. I don't know what the deal is. They have rocket-shaped ones. I mean, they have the original Astro lamp style. I was very, very, very impressed. I thought, I don't know. I was like, wow, these are beautiful, and I definitely am going to own one. So, Sean, look that up, okay? Somebody here wrote some stuff. It says, the company Cloudflare uses lava lamps for cryptography. Since the movements inside are unpredictable and random, they have a wall of lava lamps in their lobby that they use for encryptions. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it is definitely a Rorschach test of sorts. It is like, it's a random deal. And I love turning it off once in a while and letting them get heavy and fall. I've been messing around with it. It's a lot of fun. Doctor Who is great. It's just a lot to get into. Oh yeah, Doctor Who is a mind trip. I do like the show. If you don't know what's going on, it's like watching that cartoon Rick and Morty. Anybody out there watch Rick and Morty? I sat down to watch it with my kids years ago and had no idea what was going on. They had to explain it to me. Once I understood it, I was like, wow, this is kind of brilliant. So if you've ever seen Rick and Morty, check it out. Doctor Who, there's a Doctor Who channel on Pluto TV. which is a free service. I'm free of TV. I'm done. I will watch things on my TV. A movie, maybe one online thing. I watched Cobra Kai episodes here and there in the last month. But I've done this thing, and I recommend everybody try it. Cover your TV. Buy something cool, a cloth, and cover the damn thing, and watch what happens. Me, when I want to watch TV, not only do I have to cover it, I have to move a lot of stuff now. Amanda, you have what? Covered the TV? I think that's what you're referring to. Really, I'm a fan of the cover the TV bit. It changes your life. It really does. Oh, don't. Oh, there we go. Fallon, watch that Heat. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's an item. It relies on a heat source, and it does get hot. So that is a flaw of this. You have to watch where you put it. I don't think there's probably too many fires that start from these. Anybody out there that knows Joe Netherworld, how many of these did he own? Because when I used to stay at his house, I used to sleep in one room that I remember had a few. It had more than two, I think. It was on the second floor. Yeah. Joe Netherworld had a bunch of these. You gotta love it. Anybody else have anything to say about this? Spy Planet, like SR-71? It might be. I'm curious. So, it seems to me, if you want a Cadillac lava lamp, you need to, if you want this brand, which is the real brand here, Lava. I mean, the company is Schilling, Schylling, German. Well, I'm looking here at the people that bought the U.S. patent, and they have German names. Adolf Ruthheimer. Nobody names their children Adolf anymore. I think it's pretty rare. And Ty Spector. These guys, I think, were Germans. So this is the real one. It says that it's relaxing, decorative, and entertaining on the back. An American icon since 1965. So that means in 63, so in 2 years it picked up. Item 5225. Watch the lava blobs and enjoy the movement of this timeless icon. So I don't forget, Goblinko's in the house. If you guys are in here in the chat, go to Goblinko, who's in the chat now. Click on it and go subscribe to that guy. Goblinko is a company, what do you call it? I would say you're a lifestyle brand. You're a lifestyle brand for weirdos like me. I'm usually wearing a Goblinko t-shirt. I wear Dungeon Degenerate shirt all the time, and I've been wearing that Behold shirt, the Beholder. But let me show you something here. Right here is a new book that came out last year called Acid Vomit. And it's the art of Sean Auberg. It's one of the coolest art books I've seen in a long time. It's weirdo art. It's Sean Auberg's weirdo art. It's the art for the game he put out, Dungeon Degenerates, which I don't know if you can see, but it's right here. He also put out Pork Magazine. A lot of you might know that, Pork Magazine. So this book is fantastic. It's a beautiful produced book. It's really nice. The print work is gorgeous. Did I do a smell test? I must have. It smells good. Yeah, congrats, Sean. This is a great book. So, yeah, they're a mom and pop art business, a lifestyle brand. And I really do give shout outs to the working class artists in the house. Because being a working class artist ain't easy. I was talking to somebody today about it on the phone, a magician guy. Yeah, when you create art from scratch and sell it without grants, I have deep respect. I'm not against people getting grants. I just really respect people that go the real route, which is start at the bottom and work your way up. And if you don't, I had a discussion with this the other day, like art subsidized by government, not so into it. I believe that evolution and water seeks its own level, and if an art is worthy of being around, you don't need the government support. I mean, look at opera. People say, well, without the support, opera would die. Well, a lot of rich people like opera, so it's not going anywhere. But if rich people stop liking opera, yeah, it's gonna die, but it won't really die. It'll be reborn in a new way. I've always been a punk rock ethics guy, the DIY. It's just I just feel better about it myself and what I'm doing. Fallon says something. Netherworld had lava silver, green, swirling crystal ball. Yep. He had many plasma lamps and several rain lamps. Yeah. Do you remember the room, Fallon? There's one room it was the psychedelic room, and I used to sleep in there when I used to stay there. I loved it. There was like an alien in a jar, a big one like this in the corner. And cheers to Joe Netherworld. Cheers. Ain't nobody gonna forget him. Hail, Joe Netherworld. Hail, House of Netherworld. Some of you might know this. I posted about it. Joe Netherworld's house was burned to the ground by an arson. I don't think they caught the guy yet, and I haven't heard a word if they're onto any leads. Maybe Fallon knew. No, you know the room. Yeah, of course you know it. Sean Auberg from Goblinko says, it was hard to get to this level. Yeah, dude, even me, like, people like, how do you, what's your day job for doing magic? And I was like, I've been running it full time for many years. It's hard. It's very easy. And he said, AC/DC helped me a lot. Yeah, I mean, for me, the punk rock soundtrack and rock and roll was my fuel and still is my fuel. I mean, I listen to opera and jazz a lot, but rock and roll and literally the Ramones for me it wasn't a band or a music or even I guess it was a lifestyle. It's a mode of thought. And when I first heard them and I saw the lyrics and what they were doing, and it just all made sense. It was one of those moments of glory where you're like, wow, here's a band that gets where I'm coming from. And it was more than just a band. It was a lifestyle, a movement, an energy, an ethic, a work ethic. Yeah. And so that soundtrack was the soundtrack of my life. Literally, the Ramones, that band. I mean, I liked all those other bands, but they were the one that it just all rounded out. Okay, the investigation is ongoing. Now, Fallon, a question. Do you think the cops are a little more reluctant to do a full investigation because it was a house associated with occultists, people that had alternative lifestyles? Throw in some Satanism, throw in some gay people, and you have a cocktail for something maybe the cops don't want to focus on? Or is it the opposite? I don't know. I know in the past, it might have gotten an eye turned away from it. Ah, wow. The Ramones were an art project at the start. Yeah. I mean, it was. It wasn't just one thing. It was everything. They knew. They were like, look, we have to create this energy, and it's not just the tunes. It's our life. It's our lives infused into it. Yeah, I think so. They knew that the logo and the look and everything meant something. They had Johnny Ramone as the work. He's the guy that kept it in line. You had Tommy Ramone, who was kind of the guy that put it together and was the production end. He knew what to do on that. You have Dee Dee and Joey that are the heart and soul and the art part. They were the artists, the poet and the artists. Perfect band. Perfect. All their songs don't sound that whole like, oh, they're all music sounds the same. I completely disagree. Listen to their 80s and 90s stuff. Very different. They went a little metal at one point. His singing style changed, and I was listening to the Halfway to Sanity record the other day, and by God, it goes from doo-wop to hardcore. Like, They literally do like doo-woppy 60s tunes, and then it goes really heavy stuff. Brilliant band. Yeah, I'm curious if the police are on this and have some respect for solving this crime. It's a heinous crime. It's really scary. If you live an alternative lifestyle, and especially if you live an alternative lifestyle and you are not the type that likes to play the scapegoat card, this is big. This is like, wow. You know, like, here it is. We're getting picked on, or this house, these people. What do you do? How do you fight back? How do you... The way I looked at it was, anybody that lives on that edge of a different way of life, you just got to keep your eyes open. You have to pay attention. I had a friend the other day ask me why I worry so much about, certain things, like free speech issues. I'm a huge free speech advocate. I'm sure you are too, Sean Auberg. And I mean all speech, including the bad stuff. I think for art purposes and for humanity getting through things, we have to be able to talk about it, even if it's terrible. So if you ban certain speech that you don't like, it's also going to ban talking about other subject matters that do need to be talked about. So it has to all be free. All of it, even the bad stuff. Here. Fallon says, not likely. It is a famous house, and it is bad press on the city if they drag their heels. Okay. Yeah, the house, I'm sure everybody in Poughkeepsie knows the house, and the house is on the block. There's other great houses. When I meet artists that aren't pro free speech, I'm shocked, and I've met them. I don't consider them artists. I've met actors in my performing art actors who wouldn't play certain roles because they thought it was offensive. And I thought, well, then you're not an actor. Because an actor's job is to take a character that's offensive and find the one shred of humanity in that character, even if it's a terrible person. And a good film to learn this in, anybody ever see the film Downfall? Downfall is the first produced film in Germany that's about Hitler and the Nazis, where they portray him publicly. Very brilliant film. Most of you know the film because it was used to spoof things online. Remember those viral videos of Hitler throwing a tantrum? It's like, rah, 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 and there's subtitles and they're funny. That's Downfall. You must see the original film. It's amazing. It's about the last 3 days in the bunker, when Hitler was locked up in the bunker and he was going to kill himself. How do you as an actor get the role of Adolf Hitler and not turn it into a cartoon character? How do you turn that into a living and breathing person that you can get the audience to connect with? How do you do that as an art? Well, that's the job of an actor. That's why they didn't bury actors in the cemetery in Greek times, because they don't have a soul. They're soulless. They're able to take on the soul of whatever they're playing, even if it's a terrible bad guy. So I always thought artists have to be open-minded about everything, including the bad stuff, because I had a debate with somebody they told me blackface should be banned. We had an incident in New York City where we had somebody who was pretty dumb do a blackface act. And when I heard about it, I was waiting to hear the point of it. I wanted to hear a point. Like, did he do it to raise awareness? Did he do it because he was making fun of somebody else doing blackface? And the reason he did it, there was no reason. He did it to be funny and weird and to be over the top. To me, that's not a reason. That's ridiculous. And then people were saying they should be banned. And I was like, well, what if you're making a movie about Al Jolson in the teens? You're not going to be able to put it in the film if it's banned. What if it's under a historical context? What if it's done to point out something as an artist, like you're trying to raise awareness? I can list a million reasons why it shouldn't be banned, even though it's a terrible thing. I always thought art was like that. It needs to be that so that we can explore horrible things. And so can everybody else. And it doesn't mean you're for it. Slayer had songs about Nazis. Were they Nazis? I don't think so. No, I don't think they're Nazis. They were singing about it, just like if you would make a movie about it. You know, is Tarantino a Nazi because he made a movie about Nazis? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. So I am very pro free speech, and I value it like nothing else, especially because of what I do. And I like to think that other people are on that trip too, which I don't think they are. I think it's the younger crowds need to be taught what it means and in detail, like in detail of why we have free speech and what the benefit of it is. And the sad part is, yeah, people are going to get offended. I'm offended daily. But I don't whine about it, you know. What if the character is a racist? Well, right. So if I was an actor and I had to play a part of a really horrible racist person, I still would have to find some sort of humanity in that character. You know, like something that I can personally grasp onto so that I'm able to play the part. And I would have to remember, playing a racist character, you wouldn't be playing the racist as a racist. You would be playing it as if what he believes is real and correct. That's how the actor should approach a part like that, right? No bad guy thinks they're a bad guy. You know, they think they're doing something correct or healthy, you know? That's what an actor or a performer should do when they're playing the bad guy. Grazie, Fallon. Grazie. Thank you. Thank you for the tip. Yeah, people tip in the show. It goes right in the show. I'm working on getting an e-meter, folks. I'm working on buying a real e-meter and learning how to use it. It's the Scientology gadget they use to read the thetans in you. I'm going to use it for a magic trick, but I do want to learn how to use it for some fun experiments. Yeah, I don't get political on this show, but I do like chatting about free speech. It's one of my favorite chats. I could chat about it all night. I love getting challenges presented to me of where it might not be. Yeah, The Sopranos. They had to find humanity in a killer, you know, in a thug, a gangster. You have to find humanity when you're playing these parts, even if they're terrible people. You know, every person we don't like, KKK, Nazis, they have a mother and kids. There is a humanity there of something. So as a performer, that's what you would do. That's what I would say to somebody. It's like this. People that are acting drunk, you know, let's say in a scene you have to be drunk. You don't play drunk. You play trying not to look drunk. That's what you play. That's the action you're playing. You don't play, I'm drunk. That's a bad actor. The good actor's like, how do I play it so I'm not drunk? You know, try to keep your body stable, you know. That's real performance. I have yet to see all of The Sopranos. I've only seen season 1, and I loved it. I've seen other episodes. I have some friends in episodes that I've seen. And I've watched those episodes, but I need to see the whole thing. I live kind of like right in an area where the real Soprano stuff goes on. I was talking to somebody the other day. Right over there is where John Gotti was the king of the castle, and he threw great parties for the neighborhood. And I was talking to somebody today about that, and it was kind of cool that happened right there. I mean, I can drive over and you can look at John Gotti's house. His family's still there, I believe. His grandson is. That's all right here, you know, and I want to see The Sopranos. I do like gangster movies, and I hear nothing but good things about the whole season. So eventually I will see it during the next pandemic. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Wow. Folks, what a fun episode. I love it. I have some episodes where at the end I feel drained. This one I feel excited. I have lots of energy right now. I'm going to get off soon and start working on the next few. So here's what I have going. My sister said she had dinner with him at the Ritz. Oh, yes. Yeah, I get big tips sometimes. Big tip. They tip well. Spark Steakhouse. Well, actually, okay, so the Hunt and Fish Club with the gold toilet is in Ozone Park over there. Yeah, it's all here. Yeah, Spark Steakhouse. What else is? What was the name of his club in Little Italy that got bugged? I forget the name of that place. I'm gonna work on. So here's what's coming up. I'm gonna work. One of my episodes coming up soon is on earwax. I don't know if it's gonna be this week. It might be next week. I'm literally doing a show on earwax and cleaning your ears. I already know a lot about it, but I'm gonna learn even more about a lot about it. Okay. I'm going to do an episode, a whole episode on one of my favorite movies and a play I have never seen and never will get to see. Frank Langella's Dracula, or Edward Gorey's Dracula, as it should be called. That was the play. Frank Langella is in the play and in the film, and I'm going to do an episode on it. I think it's a brilliant movie, and I never got to see the play. I know people that have seen it, and I literally heard it was one of the coolest things of all time. And if you look up the reviews, it's pretty neat. So I'm working on that, and I'm also working on a magic method and a behind the devil's curtain on the historicity of Jesus. Looking at the Jesus story from a historical point of view, as if I was a real historian, trying to really get to if it was a real guy or not. And you're gonna love that episode. I already know a lot about it. I've literally devoted 15 years of my life to reading books and listening to debates and lectures on the historicity of Jesus of Nazareth. I mean, a lot. I've also read the New Testament probably more times than anybody in this room, this chat room. On my own, just reading it and taking notes, and I know a lot. So I have a lot to say about it, and I can't wait to do the episode. It's one of those ones I need to really work hard on. I don't want to make it, I want it to have some layers to it. You know how I am. I like to take this stuff seriously. I mean, I took my lava lamp episode very serious. Look at this. Here it goes. So look, that one ball just shot up, and the other one's going down. Look, they're going down, and it's just endless. Wow. I saw somewhere they have a wall of lava lamps. They have like 50 of them. And I do know that they exist in large format, like massive. So whoever's out there, I'd love to know if you have any other stories about lava lamps. I might do a follow-up on this after I make one. And anybody that makes one, let me know what your experience is. I mean, look, honestly, yeah, it's like, you know what else I was thinking? So first of all, this. You see this? Look. It's just like it literally looks like a cup. And and this literally is a bottle with a bottle cap. It's sealed. You can with a bottle opener. And I was wondering what you could do with this little cup, and I was thinking you could take these clown nosy stuffed animal guys. You've seen this before, right? You know, bop. Watch this. If you take this, watch. Look. Look, you can do it like this too. Oh. And then you can squash it down, make it go through. Actually, there's two now. I'm just making this up as I go along. Yeah, so maybe I can do a magic trick with this lava lamp. Maybe there's a way to make these balls come out through. I don't know. I'm thinking. You're watching me. You're watching how I come up with routines. I just screw around with props, and eventually something comes about. So I think I might do a follow-up episode on lava lamps. I think the modern lava lamp is all the crazy lighting that we have. Like, look, I have this crazy lighting now. Look. I have this here. You know, if you go on Instagram or Facebook, they're definitely going to try to sell you some lighting. You know, the new fancy lighting, and it's very inexpensive. It's kind of the modern version of the lava lamp. My question is, will this fancy new lighting stuff, you know, this crap that's all over online, I don't know if you can see this, these things, will that live as long as this? I don't think so. I don't think so. If they ever ban incandescent light bulbs, they'll have to figure out a way to generate the heat. Just put a little heating unit in there, probably with an LED light is probably the solution. So it's a couple different props involved, and this is funny that they still use this system. I do think it's a pleasing shape too, folks. You guys are awesome. I have a really good crowd in here. I want to thank everybody in here. I've got Talon, Voider Shark. Are you still in the house? What's up? I'm going to give you a ring after this. William Nemeth, Amanda, Libra Liz, Fallon, Talon, Sherman, everybody that's in here. Goblinko, Sean Auberg, D. Baker, Jason, everybody. Guys, thank you. I really love that you guys come in here and participate. It inspires me to work hard and do good research on the stuff I'm presenting. It really does. It makes it easy. So thank you, literally from the bottom of my heart. And thank you for all the donations. As you can see, I'm putting them to good use with my equipment and stuff. I also just ordered a new power thing that my son has to wire into my computer somehow so that I have more power to all of my things running. Thank you. I'll see you all on Wednesday. I'll be right here. Same bat channel, same bat time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, notify, like the video. You're watching my evening hour, episode 36, Lava Lamp Underworld, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm going to take you out. Well, here, let's do one more time. Let's look at this nudist picture again. The Traveling Light. A film by Craven Walker, who then invented the lava lamp. All right, everybody. You guys rule. Have a good night.